Tony Romo to don a number 9 Dallas Mavericks jersey.
Oh.
Whoa. And sit on the bench as the 15th guy.
Nice.
On the Dallas Mavericks roster, according to, I guess, sources.
The Houston Chronicle.
And we'll get to the Houston Chronicle article in a second. But Mark Cuban is, what's the word you would use here? Because there's things I really like about Mark Cuban, and then there's things I get really annoyed by with Mark Cuban. This falls like right in the middle.
I don't know. I'm
Pesky.
at a
He
loss.
knows how to poke the bear.
Yeah,
but he's smart to market this.
I don't mind Mark Cuban as much. Like as far as the honors go, there's a lot worse.
Oh yeah.
He's all right. I mean, I think he's funny when Dirk Nowitzki made that historic shot. He was quick on the court. You know, he's the type of guy that probably name drops quite a lot. You know, like Dirk Nowitzki came to my house the other night. I was on the court when he made that.
He owes
20,000
Dirk
point
a lot. Dirk and Jason Terry won that man a championship.
Yeah.
So
I think that he doesn't seem like too bad of a guy. I just think this is a very smart PR move. What do you do when one of the city's star quarterbacks decides to retire from the sport? Well, we're going to get him in an NBA jersey and use that.
So it makes sense because it's Dallas. It's not like the San Antonio Spurs are honoring Tony Romo, who played for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
Right? So in this case, sure. And I actually do believe there's a decent chunk of people who really like Tony Romo. It was always split. There was some who couldn't stand him when it got to the playoffs because he never finished the job. And then there's a lot that enjoyed him for the 5-6 consecutive years he was on the field and playing and not injured. He is the Dallas Cowboys career touchdowns and passing yards leader.
Yeah.
So he's got the numbers. But he has a 2-4 playoffs record, and some people don't think that was good enough. And there was a lot of people, including myself, and I'm sure fans in Dallas, who, when Dak was in week 4 of the preseason, said you still got to hand the ball over to Tony Romo. That obviously changed alongside a 3-4-5 and eventually turned into an 11-game.
And resulting in your opinion being used as in a Dak Prescott
there was
haters clip.
There was that. Somebody sent that in via Twitter. I said, they go, you're being very humble. This validates you. I said, I don't feel validated until Stephen A. Smith rips me in 10 words I don't understand. But in the case of Tony Romo and the Dallas Mavericks, is he going to play? I think that's another entirely different story if they put Tony Romo in the game. I think more of this is so he can warm up with the team, gets a little bit of a standing ovation. If you care this much about it, you need to calm down.
Send him in for a free throw and bring him back out.
Like this guy.
Oh, no.
Send him in for a free throw. What if he misses it?
Or if he tears his Achilles and he makes another one?
We got a spread to cover here, okay?
Yeah,
Are you kidding me? Tony Romo in a clutch situation, you take the other team.
He's definitely going to hurt his back doing it.
Francis, this article, man, is something. I can tell you that. It's from the Houston Chronicle. Let's keep in mind a couple of things. Houston Chronicle sports writer is obviously got a slate, not biased, but is going to favor the Houston Rockets and Houston Texans a little bit more than you would say the Dallas sports market. But that he goes so far to, I just can't wait to get to the second half of this. So the first quote, by the way, this is how he opens with, only an NBA loser out of Dallas could be this dumb. Tony Romo is also involved, which tells you everything you need to know about the pitiful little circus that the 32-47 Mavericks were reportedly tried to pull off this week. But later goes on and says, I'll just say that out of all the lame, pathetic, and idiotic things we constantly have to stomach in sports, this sounds like the stupidest idea I've ever heard, and it hasn't happened yet. It makes LeVar Ball look humble, gracious, and wise, and it makes Kendall Jenner popping a can of Pepsi during a glossy TV, quote, protest, unquote, look good. You, my friend, have the worst sports take of 2017, and we are in April of 2017. There is nothing that will top this, especially because nothing is better than saying it's the stupidest idea I've ever heard, because it's the most stupid idea you've ever heard, if you're gonna use it grammatically correct.
Yes.
So to follow up yourself. Now look, editorials are totally fine, but this is like it's like what you'd find in the Houston Chronicle like newspaper. And there is op-ed sections for that, and by all means, put it in the opinion section.
It's an insult to sports. Let's just put that in the point where you're trying to understand what he means by that. Is it an insult to some guy who's trying to make it onto the bench and his roster spot gets jeopardized for Tony Romo to sit there and be glorified? I'm pretty sure that guy's probably not losing too many hours sleep on that and not really caring about it enough. You writing about it makes you look stupid because you're actually taking it serious. You're actually thinking that Mark Cuban's in there giving notes to the coach. So we need to drop a play. Get Tony Romo open. Tomo.
That's a good name.
That's his nickname for on the basketball court. Tomo. Get him open on the wing. We need to see how his shot is. No, he's there to be celebrated because he was a great ambassador to the city of Dallas for what he was doing over the years in American football. It's just he's just got too much. He's probably, it's Friday night. He's probably like, damn it, I need to write an opinions eds article on this, man, and I don't have any other stories. You know what? I'm going to make it seem like I'm really upset about this. To say that it makes Kendall Jenner's glossy Pepsi ad look
so
good,
bad,
come
man.
on, mate. Nothing makes, even United Airlines today, after they dragged the guy off the plane, they did their best to try and outshine Pepsi, and it still won't outshine them. It's still a stupid ad.
What this guy needs?
A can of Pepsi.
A can of Pepsi. You see the best meme?
What one?
All of the world's problems versus a can of Pepsi.
Yeah, some of the meme, the response
was
from
unbelievable.
People that my favorite was the 1968 Olympics holding up the can of Pepsi. That was great. Martin Luther King holding up the can of Pepsi and arm in arm with Kendall Jenner was good. Yeah, it was just, people made fun of it.
By the way, because he's from Houston, I think let's compare apples to apples. When J.J. Watt gets into his career, right, for the Houston Texans.
Yeah.
And I hope J.J. Watt wins a Super Bowl, or at least gets to play in a Super Bowl, or finishes with a better playoff record than 2 and 4. And the Houston Rockets, now J.J. Watt's a freak athlete. He plays for the Houston Texans, great ambassador of the game as well. I think it would be kind of cool if the Houston Rockets said, maybe not cool, but it would be not all that surprising if the 15th spot on the bench in the last game of the season, if you've already locked the playoffs or your draft lottery spot is already secured, and you have nothing else to play for, you bring on J.J. Watt. Would you have the same opinion if it was J.J. Watt?
Interesting.
Because if you have a different opinion, then you are a hypocrite.
J.J. Watt probably played some lockdown D.
J.J. Watt was a freak athlete.
No doubt. Would he or would he not?
I'm surprised that Rick Carlisle would allow this, but I guess starting 3-15 this season, he's signing the wrong free agents dims a coach's fire. The fact that Cuban's Mavericks think this is a cute honor and novel idea says everything about how lost Dallas this season has been and how little respect the team's owner has for the paying fans attending a worthless game. No, that's the point.
I think that, yeah, I
want to bring in.
I think he's a bitter fan. He's upset. It'd be like, I mean, to be fair, Jason, if they suddenly turn around and went, you know what, Odell Beckham's going to sit on the bench for the Knicks.
I'd be there. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? I'd be there front and center. Well, but the difference is in this case is that Odell Beckham Jr. is better than.
He's probably, yeah, he would dunk. He would probably, a lot of people would actually turn up to see that. All right, maybe not Odell Beckham.
Just to see him. Look, he's not gonna. If he plays, then I'll have a very different take. If they put Tony Romo into a game, that to me is a little bit different. Little bit different. But for something that hasn't happened yet, and probably just sitting bench side when he normally is sitting literally one behind the bench.
Yeah.
That's where his seats, I think, were, or court side. We're talking about like a simple change of seat. Do you ever go to the stadium, sit in the upper deck, and then walk down? Oh, no. Go back to your seat, sir.
He's got on that shirt. That's a sacred shirt.
It's a number 9 Tony Romo shirt. Comment below.
Comment below.
Favorite, subscribe, all the good stuff. We'll see you next time.